I love when Tony Robbins says, ask better questions and you get better answers, and therefore you get a better result. Like, your questions do matter, and the ones that you're asking to yourself are by far so important, because what you ask expands, what you think about expands, what you take action on expands. It's like this giant balloon, and we want it to all be working together. And so if, like, for example, if you keep not feeling great and you're just like, I wonder why I don't feel great, that's not a better question would be like, who can help me, right? Who is out there that could help me feel better? That's a better question, because it's more proactive. It's more problem solving versus like, I just wonder why I don't feel good, right? Just as an example. So shout out to Susie for sponsoring today's episode. She's all about balancing your hormones, which as women, especially getting older, it is something that I know so many wealthy mamas are looking into and working through, because as women, we are wired differently and we're made differently, and we need different health support, and really understanding like what you need, especially when it comes to your hormones, is key. So my favorite question to ask myself, since better questions lead to better results and a better life, is what would wealthy me do? What would wealthy me do? So anytime I'm having a hard time deciding, like if you find yourself in overthinking about spending money, or overthinking about a decision, or you're about to launch a product and you're overthinking it, or you are trying to, like, you're deciding what you are going to do for the day and we're overthinking that, ask yourself, what would wealthy me do? What would wealthy me do? And keep asking it to yourself until something shows up, right? Because typically we're making decisions out of fear and lack versus wealth and abundance. And you can still be, honoring where you're at right now, but when we make even a small decision from abundance and wealth, like the smallest decision, it can lead to so much more, because you're headed in the right direction. So you don't have to like go buy a yacht today because wealthy you would do that, but could you book a cruise, right? Could you open up a savings account to start saving for a cruise and move $10? Like, that's what I'm talking about here. What you desire is actually so simple and so basic, and a lot of times we feel like it's so out of reach, but it's really not. It's hidden in our day-to-day. It's hidden in the questions that we're asking ourselves. And so that is by far, my favorite question. Anytime I am in fear, in lack, I love to just stop and literally say, like, what would wealthy me do? She wouldn't keep overthinking this. She would move forward and make a decision. And so there's just so much confidence that is built. There's so much progress that is created when we 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what would wealthy me do? And we do this day in and day out, and then it starts to compound. And then you literally have all of this confidence, you have all of these results, and it does get easier as you create momentum. And so if you're in the beginning phase of something, it can feel so daunting, but just take the tiniest step towards your wealthiest self. Like, what would she do? And it will change it. It'll change everything for you, and it will feel so empowering because you're headed in the right direction. The pursuit of what we desire is just as enjoyable and thrilling as actually like receiving it. Like when we were going for Taylor Swift tickets, the pursuit of it was so invigorating. It was so fun to like even have a possibility of going for it. And when I finally allowed myself to be like, well, what would wealthy me do? She would try. She would at least try. She would put her heart into it, right? And this has shown up for me in so many ways as, as extravagant as Taylor Swift tickets, as simple as like 10,000 steps a day, water, savings account, paying off debt. Like, what would wealthy you do today? One small step. And then we're going to do another small step. And then we're going to do another small step. It's so mundane at times. It's so boring. It's so basic, but it works. And isn't that the whole goal? Like, isn't the whole goal is that it works and we see and feel the progress? It's hidden in the basics. The basics work all day, every day, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's marketing, whether it's cleaning your house, right? Like, no matter what it is, the basics work. They never go out of style. Master the basics and then add in all the extras. And this will create such a solid, strong foundation that is so sustainable and so scalable and so enjoyable. Okay? So thank you so much, Susie. I love you so much. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode. Make sure you check her out. Get your hormones balanced because it literally changes everything. So what would wealthy you do? Make a move. Make a wealthy move. Wealthy moves lead to a wealthy life. Healthy moves lead to a healthy life. Okay. I love you. Make it a great, wealthy day.